Good afternoon, everyone. This is Toni Weel from not so sunny Florida, and it's getting kind of cool. We have Sara with us from Virtuous Unicorns, who barely made it. She had a fun story about fixing trucks, but hey, she made it. She's here.
I'm
And
here. I'll just add
today,
mechanic to my repertoire.
yeah, today I would like to talk about a post that Peter John Ledetto made. He is not, and I saw it on his profile, and I reposted it or shared it in the Fans of Dr. Morse group, and I got an amazing response from Karen Weaver, and she will be in one of these weeks. She will be on the call with us. But that the way that Peter is was writing this, I was like, we have to talk about this because it has so much to do with how we look at things in the food and what we need to do. And what I found with Peter is that he is straightforward. He can be pretty blunt. So I was thinking, should I at least invite him to come on our podcast and talk about whatever he wants to talk about, because he is very clear. I don't know if you had the time to glance over it yet, Sarah, but I was thinking I could read what he was writing, and because I think it is important, and not everyone is in the Fans of Dr. Morse group.
Yep.
But anyway, if you want to, for everybody, if you want to learn more about his writings, and he is always spot on. His name is Peter John Ladetto, Ladetto. He probably has a nicer way to pronounce it, but heck, this is the Dutch way. So here it goes, and I just read what he wrote. It's not that long, and then we can talk about that, and I can read Karen's comments. So Peter writes, there is nothing that encourages the body to do something it should be doing, but for some reason it's not. That's an existential narcissistic idea that one constantly finds being pushed by so-called healers and naturopaths. Only the body heals the body, and there's nothing you can do to speed up that process other than removing cause of the disease. And we talked about that quite often. Even species-appropriate foods do not heal the body. Nothing saps the body's energy more than metabolizing toxic and species-inappropriate food. We detox and repair faster while honoring a species-appropriate diet due to the nearly zero metabolic energy needed to convert that food into energy for the body, energy that then can be used to detox and repair. Healing and maintaining homeostasis is about removing costs. It has nothing to do with adding substances or assisting the body. The human body is work of perfection, a perfectly working example of nature's infinite wisdom. The only thing about the human body that doesn't work is our attempt to fix it. Anyone trying to push the idea that the body needs help or encouragement detoxing is either deeply confused or profiting by such lies by selling you things like vitamins, supplements, remedies, oils, candles, pills, herbs, etc. Even selling you the idea that emotional stability is required before detox can happen. By far the most evil of all these harebrained ideas, all of which are completely unnecessary. Anything we consume that is not the pure energy of species-appropriate food only adds to our toxic load, regardless of how good they make us feel in the moment. Healing hurts. And detox can be a painful experience. However, the more we try to anesthetize the pain, the more we curb the process of healing and add further poison to the load, which must ultimately be clarified. There's no way around it. If you want to clarify and avoid disease, you must remove cause and feel the pain of your detox without numbing yourself to the process. The body is the only healer, and it's only our vanity ego, and in the case of certain practitioners, greed, which clouds the profound simplicity of human health. By Peter. And we have been talking about this so many times already. And there is nothing that you can add to the body to heal. And we'll get into the part because he also mentioned herbs. And I'm still not there that the herbs are not helping us. But I do appreciate the natural hygiene group, who is always discussing it is detox. It is toxins. I have done months and months without any herbs, and we can still heal. But Karen responds to that also. But what is there anything you would like to add to what I was just reading?
No, I mean, I agree with that. And I've said multiple times about the herbs is that, when you, Dr. Morse, or other practitioners are working with people, a lot of the people that come, by the time they come to you, Dr. Morse or someone else, they're already in desperate need. And I feel from my research and my standpoint that the herbs can help people that don't have so much time on their hands. I'm a very firm believer that if you got time on your side, your body can heal itself on its own. But if you don't have time on your hands, then the herbs can kind of, I believe they can help speed the process.
Yeah, as long as we leave all the offending foods out and only eat
Absolutely.
these appropriate foods, because that is
I
where
should
it
have
always
clarified on that.
Yeah, that is where it always starts. And I see daily so many questions coming into the groups with what can I do about, and then we get the disease. And of course, I understand that people come into these groups to seek information and absolutely know nothing about Dr. Morse eating the right foods and know anything about healing. And every time, I think we need to make a standard response that it is not any, and there's not even a treatment that can heal the body. And I do believe in chiropractic services to set things straight again. I had to undergo that several times when I was young, until the point that he just gave it up. It's like it's not working. And from the moment I gave it up and I wasn't worried about it, it started healing.
It's wonderful.
So you have a lot of, it's like stress. And what he mentioned is that you have to be emotional stable to be able to detox. I don't know who the heck came up with that crazy idea. I mean, all you need to do is to start healing, and is to leave out all the junk food. When I ask somebody what they are eating, and it's like, well, it's probably the standard American diet, which I consider a standard world diet because it's junk everywhere. And it's like, yeah, but they can't do that. I don't know what to do then. I don't even know what to say anymore.
Or it's the people that they have come to a lot of people think that it's the vegetables, and so they turn to like a plant-based diet, and they're very, very heavy on the vegetables. Now, vegetables can be very fantastic for us, but when you're trying to detox and you're trying to heal, keep in mind that a lot of vegetables have cellulose in them. And so when you're trying to detox and heal, the cellulose is very hard. I mean, it's like wood pulp or, something along those lines. Our body can't digest it. So now the body is having to work very hard to digest the veggies. Now, they are veggies, so yes, they can be good for us, but you're asking the body to work overtime again. Yes, it's not chemicals, it's not toxin, it's not meat, it's not pus, it's veggies, but the body is still having to go from other departments to the main digestion department to help digest all that food.
It
And
takes a lot of
it
energy.
doesn't have time to then detox and regenerate and heal. So we have people that come to us like, I'm on a plant-based diet, I'm on a whole foods diet, I'm vegan. When you're ill, you have cancer, you have I don't know, but any other things you have, like, you have to turn to the least, I don't, now my words are getting all confused. Basically what I'm trying to say is that you have to give your body a break so the body can go ahead and do the healing. And if you're constantly bombarding it with, oh, I'm trying to eat the rainbow, or I'm trying to eat all my veggies, or I'm trying to do that, it just can't. So fruit is going to be the easiest to digest. It basically just, your body takes what it needs and then the rest of it runs right on through you. On top of that, it hydrates you on a cellular level, which is so important. And so, like we've said many times, it's not what you put in, it's what you take out. And if you can take all that out and just stay on the fruits and mono eat fruit, you will see stuff. I mean, you'll see stuff within 72 hours if you stay on it. But yeah.
Yeah, but we do have to realize too that the veggies, you cannot compare the veggies with the fruits. You absolutely need
No.
the fruits. And I see a lot of people that are on the green drinks and follow all these detox craziness you find everywhere. And it's like, don't make it so complicated, a 7-day detox or even a 30-day detox, if not prepared, after your 30 days, you go back into your old habits and you're in more problems than you were before. Because that is just how it works. Now, it's like, I can't say that detoxing is easy. If you guide, yourself into it slowly, you transition into it slowly. I'm not gonna say, the next day you cannot eat anything you were doing, but take a month. And I think a month is enough. I did it longer, I have to admit. But I was already on all raw, but I had to leave out all the seeds and nuts and other fats like avocado and coconut and all these delicious things. And before I saw the results, the results that I needed to see. Now, first is the fruit and second is the veggies. And like what one mentioned, like, yeah, you can steam the veggies because that is often said, steam the veggies, then they are easier to digest. Now, how logical is that actually? Because that means you have to eat them up, you heat them up for the body to be able to process it easier. That makes no sense. So
And
we need to eat. Yeah, sorry.
And did you just kill some of the benefits of the veggies in the first place?
Yeah, well, if needed, and even Dr. Moore said, if you need to have something heated up or you need to slow down your detox, yes, then use the best way is to use the steaming process. But when you look at it, don't use vegetables that are hard to digest. Go with the vegetables that have a lot of water in it and are easy to digest. Any lettuce is fine. Any cucumber, tomatoes, you can make a wonderful salad with it.
And tomatoes
So
are technically fruit. So
yeah.
Yep. And I wanted to also just say too that at least I am speaking from people that are on their last stage of cancer. They're at their 7th level of acidity. Those are the kind of people that I'm talking with and helping. I usually don't speak with, like, nobody comes to me that is healthy and in their eyes, I should say, is healthy. So I don't have just this young, vibrant person who's still on a meat eating diet coming and questioning about, should I be eating more fruit? They think they're doing fine at that stage. But if you're at that point, and even though you're feeling good and stuff, I mean, the dis-ease is just taking its time building up. And by the time you're in your 40s or 50s, that standard American diet, you're going to be seeing this damage. So if you're listening and you're in your early teens or 20s or whatever, this is the time you should really start taking care of your body. But from all these standpoints of, can we have steamed veggies? Can we have this? Can we have that? I mean, if you're not detoxing, you're not fighting anything. I mean, indulge as you want, but just know that fruit is always king. It's always at the top of the pyramid for us.
Yes, and it's actually, I always feel good after eating fruit. And as much as I would like any other food, as in cooked food, it's in your mind that you would love to eat that, and the taste is great, and then you feel bad. So it's like we just need to have the mindset that we need to eat species appropriate foods. And what you mentioned about, being young and actually feeling invincible like I did. I had all kinds of symptoms, but they were normal.
Yeah.
It's like diarrhea or constipation or headaches or migraines or
period
muscle
cramps.
pains. It's all normal.
They tell us they're normal.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
yep. Healing Salt says, what about cold pressing or slow juicing some veggies like spinach and celery, cucumber? Are these okay?
absolutely. I mean, you can have, your meal, like do the fruit in the morning, have your greens in the afternoon, and later the day have some fruit again. So yeah, you can. I just would say be careful with the celery. There's a book out about the toxicity of celery, and that is a book that describes all the research that has been done over a long period. It's more than 50 years. And nobody wants to hear about that book. Nobody wants to. When I saw it, I was like, it came in front of me when I had just stopped all the celery juice. And I had been doing it for 18 months, and my body was definitely not happy with it. I had these bowel explosions, and I can tell you that's no fun.
We've all been on the celery train, I think.
Yeah, and a lot of people have that, and a lot of people wreck their GI system. And it's just sad how it's still being promoted. If you add one stalk, that I don't think that will hurt you. It is the consistency and the amount, because we did a whole bunch, and sometimes two, until we had 16 or 24 ounces. And I hear people, I do 36 ounces a day. And I'm like, oh my God.
Well, the whole thing behind that is that we are that sick as a society that juicing celery, you're going to feel amazing at first because you're that dehydrated and you're that sick. Your body is just that starved for it. But when you continue on it, you, like Toni said, it wrecks your whole entire system. And keep in mind, celery is an herb and it should be treated as an herb. So as we always recommend, you shouldn't be doing your herbs no more than 60, 90 days. And you should be doing those under some kind of supervision of one of the practitioners as well, too.
Yeah, we can touch on that briefly too, because the ones people here who follow Dr. Morse, they do know that he sold his herbal part to the company who made his herbs for him because it was just getting too much. And he was outgrowing, the demands, and it was it had to be this way. But what happened now is that we see that certain formulas are being sold without people actually knowing what to do. I mean, if there's a marketing and they say, your blood circulation, that will help you with this and this and this, but it's not the kind of formula that you will give to a cancer patient, because we have to really be careful with that. We know what is the cancer, is there a tumor, will there be more blood flow than to the tumor, which we don't want to happen. So I don't like how that is going. So we need to be aware of that. It's always best to work with a practitioner. I am a practitioner, and there may be other practitioners here in the group. When you go to grapegate.com, there's a list of practitioners. I'm in there too. Recently somebody asked, is there one who speaks Italian? And I found that is actually a person, a counselor in Italy. So we're all over the world, and we can help you with that. The only thing is, if you have a counselor that tells you to take supplements, you have the wrong counselor.
Yep.
And
Not
so that is
maybe-
important. And if it is about the money, it's like, my gosh, you know, my servers, I do a 15 minute free call, and so I can, you know, we can get to know each other a little, and if I'm a good fit for that particular person. And then the lowest one for counseling is 1 to 2 hours. It has a 231 ebook with all the information that you would ever need about detoxing, and you have access to me in Messenger, and it's $300. And I make a personalized protocol. In that hour we talk, we go over the protocol, and you can talk about anything from traumas, from whatever stress, your food habits, anything and everything we can talk about. And I think $300 as an investment in your health, well, you've probably spent a lot more already on all the things that didn't work. And I see myself as a tour guide on this. So all I do is guiding you in the right direction. And if you have questions, I'm always there. And with the iridology, you get a written iridology report. Now, I would say the best iridologist is absolutely Dr. Morse. So if you can pay for that, you know, I would say he is the best. The only thing is you get an audio file with the reading, not a written report. And personally, I like the written reports, but that's completely up to you. So this is what I do, and I think that for most people, and I get a lot of people who are at the end of trying, you know, and that's too bad. It's like, I hope that the word goes out way more from, and that is what Dr. Morse is worried about too, that it doesn't get in enough people's, in front of enough people. Even now with his very active YouTube channel being taken down. So, but if you want anything, Dr. Morse, what is it? drmorse.health shows you all his websites, his services, the school, the books, yeah, whatever you need, all the videos, not all the videos, but from the last years. So there's quite a collection, even the videos that never could be posted on YouTube, because it goes about, well, you know what, what we have been struggling, well, for some struggling with the last 3 years. And there are videos about that too. There are videos about, you know, the proteins, the shedding, the everything is there. So just do your research. I mean, and we can answer a lot of questions, but I would say every time a new Dr. Morse video comes out, even if you think, you know, oh, those topics don't relate to me, there is always something in it that will help you understanding what is going on in your body. And that is the most important thing, that you are the person who is in control of your body, not a doctor, not even a naturopath or whatever, homeopath, whatever it is, you are in control. And when I see that, you know, people said, but my doctor wants to do this, it's like, it's your body, your choice. So it is, okay, before I really start rambling.
I was gonna say that to me, it's like this is the least invasive path is to work with you or Dr. Morse. And basically all you're asking people to do is meditate, do some grounding, go look at beautiful flowers, eat your fruits, clean out your body, get rest, and here's some herbs. The other process is come on in, let's do PET scans and chemo and radiation. Let's cut your body open. Let's cut it out. Let's do all that stuff. That's more aggressive. So if I was ever or somebody that was close to me, I would talk with them and beg them, let's try the fruit path. Let's try the meditation. Let's try the herbs. And to me, that's an easier path to want to try first. And then if indeed you didn't see anything or anything like that, then take the more aggressive path. And in my mind, the way I look at it is when you're already acidic, so basically it's like your body is a forest fire and those planes flying over are just dumping kerosene on the forest instead of the stuff to put the fire out. When you go in and do radiation and chemotherapy, you're just adding more acid to the body. So you're making it an even hotter environment. And then instead of putting stuff on it that's going to help put that fire out, it's just making it hotter. Whereas if we can get in when it's just a little fire or a forest fire and we're trying to put it out instead of making it hotter, then we have a lot more to work with than a barren forest by the time we get to it. And as we all know, a barren forest that's already seen a forest fire, another fire can come through there very rapidly and, run rampant again if anything came. So my opinion is I would definitely try to take this route first and really dive into it and take care of your body in a very gentle way and allow it to do the healing. And then form your opinion after that.
Yeah, I think what our job is to teach people what foods do in our bodies, teach them about the species appropriate foods and the whys. And because there are a lot of questions by people, but how can it be? Even if I hear about, we need the proteins, it's like, no, we don't need the proteins, we need the amino acids, they are in the fruit. People don't know that. So there is a lot, absolutely a lot to unlearn. And I just see a post from Prophet Elias, and it's interesting because I'm very interested actually in the whole Breatharian part. Can we get there? And there is one gentleman, and I briefly texted with him a while ago because I would love to have him here on the show. He is a Breatharian, he's doing amazing, and he's even gotten to the point of not needing sleep as more. And we are like, yeah, without sleep, we cannot function because that is where the body detoxes. But now think of this. He also said that you cannot get to be a Breatharian if your body is not 100% detoxed. So he had to go through all that. He had to go through all that healing, and it's a process. But I see it as a beautiful process, and I know I will never get to that point. But it doesn't mean that we don't keep moving forward and get to it. And it's like, I don't know if I can say if that is my age that I feel like, no, that's not going to happen to me, because I have a lot to heal in my body.
About
And
900 and what, 30 some years to go. You might make it there.
yeah, yeah.
Yes. I wanted to ask a question, Elias. Are you currently a breatharian?
I think he's on his way.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
says I'm on the
On the
breatharian journey for a
journey.
couple of years
Oh,
now,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I wasn't sure because I thought, I mean, it's been a few months since we've seen you, but I thought last time we were talking, you were doing I know you were definitely on fruits, but I just didn't know if you were just starting that or if you have already been on it? And if so, how long? And if you ever wanted to call in, the link is posted at the top too. You know, it's definitely something we are interested in learning about.
Yeah, it's I will start reading the comment from Karen Weaver that she had on the post from Peter John Ledetto. And then the link to join us on the Zoom call, because I saw there was Christina, I think she had a question, and Mandy. Yeah, there is. I put a link at the top. That is a Zoom link, and you should be able to connect with us then. And when I see you coming in, I click on approve. Although I can invite too, but that, oh no, then I need to have emails and all that stuff. But the link is at the top, so you can do that. Yeah, this is what Karen responded. Good message, Toni. Thank you for sharing. I agree that herbs aren't absolutely necessary, because I had put that in a point where people thought that I was against herbs, and I'm not. But I don't see them as that you have to use them, because what happens is people use it as a supplement. In one of the reviews on that Dr. Moore's marketing for one of these things was a review that said, oh yeah, I've been using it for years now, I'm doing great on it. And it's like, no, 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 this is not what the herbs are meant to be. You know, like what Sara said, we are on it for, you know, a few months, and then stop and see what we need and see what we changed. That is why I always say we have a health questionnaire. It's in the description of this video, and fill it out for yourself. It's a self-assessment form. You know, see where you are now, and then do it again in 3 or 6 months and see what has changed. And that is important. Okay, back to Karen's post. I agree that herbs are not absolutely necessary, but I know they are very, very beneficial and an excellent source of nutrition of a more targeted nature. And Dr. Moore says this as well, although he also says that herbs help to speed up the healing process because they make up for a deficit in the quality of our foods. I think the biggest source of confusion, which this post highlights, is the mentality that has been hammered into us so hard for so long. That healing has to do more with medical and pharma intervention or other outside interventions and silver bullets than by supporting the body through species-appropriate dietary changes. Just try to walk into a discussion about paleo or protein and start talking raw fruit and see what happens. It isn't always friendly. There are so many people who want a pill and are not really interested in getting to the root of things to heal their medical issues, and we have to accept that. I think people can heal on different diets if they move to the alkaline pH, but raw fruit is exceptional. As the post highlights, only the body heals, and it will do so if the right environment is created. And as anyone who has gone any distance in detox knows, this isn't always the easiest thing to do. And see, I agree with her. It is simple what we need to do, but it's not easy.
Absolutely.
Going on, I do think we very often make it more difficult sometimes, or we get too obsessed with doing it a certain way, in a certain time frame, and always looking for that right combination that will expedite our healing, which is understandable, but this often leads to making it more difficult than it needs to be and increases stress and anxiety in some people. Eating right, meaning alkalizing the body, which will inform the foods we require, simplifies the task, and also moving the body regularly, just walking will do, goes a long way for the majority of people who want to improve their health. Now, see, let me see. I just saw something that I was like, yeah, it's like we have we're diagnosed with certain diseases, symptoms of acidity, and we see some as worse than others. Well, it doesn't make a difference at all. And we can absolutely not expect that we have a choice in what the body will heal first. It doesn't work that way. I mean, I have severe arthritis and had a lot of pain. And of course, I wanted to go that away. So yes, the diet took away the pain. So big accomplishment. Did it take away the deformation I have in my fingers? Nope, not yet. But you know, it will happen. But now other things are being healed, and it's never in at the speed that you like. It just doesn't happen that way. Or that it would happen, you know, that you can pick and choose what needs to be detoxed. The body is working on healing 24/7. It's always, every day, in and out, doesn't matter. It will always do its best to have the best you. And so this is where I am. Stop putting junk in your body so it can actually do what it is designed to. And I think when we get this in front of people, that the body is designed to heal, always, 24/7, 365 days a year, always, always. Young, old, doesn't matter. When we get that in front of people and they start to understand it, then maybe we do have a chance to really get through. And that it cannot happen if all the energy has to go in junk food, in food that is not meant for us. And it's even, you know, but it tastes so delicious, and it's like, and it must be good for us because it tastes so good. Here is where I'm still, and I want to talk with Thaddeus or Thad about it, is what exactly is that chemistry that we do see something, we want to eat it, and we're excited about eating it, and it tastes great, and then we feel like shit, dehydrated, and etc. So I see Mandy is here, and I saw your picture coming up. So yeah, go ahead. We're listening.
Well, thank you. It's a privilege to finally, from South Africa, meet with like-minded people. I've been diagnosed with this autoimmune. I think it's a swear word now in the health community because I never heard about that word before in the last 5 years. But I'm 51 now and have been a vegan for 30 years. I was a chef before I got a software company. I know, but I was a chef for the good part of 30 years as well. And it's just couldn't understand how I could end up with autoimmune, no thyroid function. But it seems that it could have been a whole host of things. For short of mercury toxicity from amalgams being removed, and being electrosensitive, and all sorts of things going wrong with my body. Started getting skin conditions and COPD and liver problems. So I went into the DNA company and got a DNA test, a very expensive test, to see maybe my body's not absorbing things properly. But it turns out that since I started with Helene, a detox agent for Dr. Morse in South Africa, I can feel my body improving for the last 8 weeks. I've been just on fruits and maybe once a week on some cooked veggies, which I'm trying to stay away from. And salads, I'm trying to stay away from. But it has made a marked improvement. So I do think there's light at the end of the tunnel, because it's been about 7 years of just hitting a brick wall. So I thought I'd just share that with you and hope I can get some more insights.
Yeah, you describe a lot of acidity in your body, and I cannot say that I was a vegan for my whole life, but I've always been very limited with any meat. I was not a meat eater, but yeah, I ate eggs once in a while, and I ate, of course, I'm Dutch. I ate cheese. I love cheese.
Delicious.
But there are little things that stop you. Even, being a vegan didn't mean that you were eating healthy. You were just not eating most of the meat, dairy, and eggs. but you were probably still eating the fats. That was my big thing. It like, even as a raw vegan, I was not healing. I was for a while. That is what Sara mentioned. You can probably heal on, and actually Karen mentioned it too, on different diets, and I don't believe in that. You will see a difference because your body all of a sudden gets different fuel, so to speak, and it responds but then you hit what you say, you hit a brick wall again after a few months and realize it's not working. That is why I've been pretty much through all the diets in the world, and every time it was like, this is it, and then you were a few months, because I always tried a minimum of 3 to 6 months, but then realizing I was not getting any better, and then noticing I was getting worse. And it was Dr. Morse who simplified it. It was like, no nuts, no seeds, no avocado, no fats, no coconut, no oils, no apple cider vinegar. It's like, stick with fruit. And that is where we put together, or I didn't put it together. It comes from Dr. Arid and then Professor Spira, and I modified it in the sense that I made clear which foods we can detox on and which foods we can transition or maintain our health. And that is also listed in the description, and it's called mucuslessfoods.com. And print it out. And it's always, Mandy, it's always the little things that stops it for us. You can be, I have clients that say, I'm 90% all fruit. Okay, what is the 10%? And then find out that the 10% is stopping their healing. So yeah, when at some point, and especially when we get very acidic, it's an all or nothing. You go for it, and don't do what I had been doing, because we have an expression for it, and I can't even, in Dutch, I can't even translate it, but it just means that
Praat Afrikaans.
I'm sorry.
You can praat Afrikaans in South Africa. Our language in
okay.
Afrikaans is Dutch.
Well, I'll tell you, but it may be an expression that is only in Holland, and it is, I am as strong as a, let me see, as strong as a wet flutje. That is where you roll cigarettes in, that tin paper. If it's wet, you tear it apart. That is the typical expression. It just means that I have trouble sticking with my 100% fruit. And I'm doing great for sometimes weeks or months at a time. And then I have a setback and I have to start all over again. So that's not really, that just prolongs the time of my healing. But and I'm not lying about it. I'm open about it, because I do see people have that same problem, and we just have to figure out how we can overcome that, how we can overcome this. I don't know if it's a weakness, or if I'm home alone, I only buy what I need to eat and nothing else. If I have guests, then there's things for guests, and I'm like, okay, I need to cook now and I need to taste. I'm like, okay.
Yes.
Anyway, so yeah, there is an probably something that is holding you back, and in the description is also the health questionnaire. You can use it as a self-assessment form. You can fill it out, and we can go over it together and see what is stopping you. But you are well on your way. I mean, you already say that you find so many improvements already. And don't let any doctor tell you you have an autoimmune disease, meaning your body attacks your body. It's ridiculous.
Doesn't make sense. I won't accept it. I think there's an agenda to keep the human species from evolving in mentally decapitating us, when we should be working with our bodies and listening to our bodies. And looking at your diet plan now, it is beautiful. Thank you for that hard work. It will definitely be a roadmap to healing if I can see these ingredients. We have a sweet company that uses our system in the hospitals for patient meal feeding. and just to see what they have on those menus. I would love to influence all the hospitals that use our software with a plan like yours, with in recognition of you and your site, because if we could start influencing patients in hospitals that use our software, it could start a revolution, because a healthy person is a healthy society, is a healthy planet.
Absolutely, but I think that we start with ourselves, and then it goes out to our friends, and then it goes out to more family and friends. I had a family staying with us, and she now knows what I was doing, and it was not her thing. We didn't discuss about it. Her father passed away, which was my husband's brother, from Alzheimer, and I do believe that you can actually improve it, at least, or stop it. And because there are cases that have been improved, and people, it's same as with autism. It's not that it completely heals and everything is back to where you want it to be, but there are definitely ways of improvement. And her father died in his, I think, early 70s, which is, and he struggled with it for, I think 15, 20 years, which started as a very young person. So we have to be really careful with what we put in our body. It's like the metals that were used for hip replacements, and he had one, and there was talk about how toxic it was, but maybe it would have been better if he had gotten on an early detox. Not in the last years that he was already mentally gone, but with the first signs of it. And to be honest, my beautiful darling husband, who does his best to be on all fruit and a few salads. He's a truck driver, so gone for 5 days at a time. He has a lot of fruit with him, and he has salads, and we make our own dressing. So it is all mucusless foods. But in the 3 weeks that we had guests here, yeah, there were quite a few meals that were, although vegan, of course, completely vegan, but still cooked. You could see his memory was already going down. It was less. He started to get forgetful. That is an I am always amazed that chemistry in the body can be so clear. And if you would be alone, you wouldn't even notice your forgetfulness, you just put it aside, or you don't even notice it. But if you have somebody around who is really, care about it, that I notice it right away. So it is so important that we get to understanding why we need to eat better, why we need to eat our species appropriate foods. And I know we always get to that point, is like, yeah, but the soil is depleted and it's not as good. And well, we still see a lot of people, including myself, including my husband, we see people heal on that fruit. And yeah, it
Yes.
happens that we eat fruit and we have to throw it out because it burns our mouth. Then it is not ripened. I have had the beauty of eating a tree ripened mango. There's nothing as delicious as that. My soil, I don't, nothing ever was done here other than put pesticide on it. But I've been living here for almost 20 years. So I hope that is all gone, and I feel great on those foods. But other than that, I'm even in subtropical Florida, Central Florida. I have to rely on what I can find in the grocery stores, or I have to drive hours to go from farm to see what I can find. So that's Sara always says that too. We do the best we can with what we have, and not to worry about it too much, because this is what is out there for us. You know, we can say, yeah, well, the fruit is not in a great condition, so justify it. I might as well eat meat or pizzas or whatever. I can assure you that you will only get sicker and not better. And with the fruit, however it is, and yes, we have to throw out sometimes fruit that wasn't good, and it's yeah, and even in the cold areas. I know you guys know Raw Vegan Advantage. I think, well, I don't know if he's in Australia. I think I mean another guy. He's also a stuntman. He's been a raw vegan for a long time. He lives on mostly fruits with some salads. He lives in Canada, and he comes up with the most delicious things. And keep it simple. If there are only apples and pears in some greens, then that is what you eat. You know, oranges are always there. You can always get them from wherever they come. I don't even get Florida oranges in Florida. They come from California or Mexico.
Or
So
South Africa.
maybe I haven't really seen that. I haven't seen that. But
We're a big exporter of oranges, yeah.
yeah, but it depends on where are they going through, or are they being used for
Yes.
you know, the big factories who make the juices. So
Yeah.
but it is, you know, bananas are always there, and bananas is a miss and hit. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're no good at all. It doesn't even matter what brand. It's like sometimes I don't even like them, and I always like bananas. But pears can be there. It's a season now here in the U.S., especially in northern part, for apples. And we heard what is her name? She was on 2 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, she even has a fruit garden, and she is in Canada, although it
Oh.
is Western Canada. What was her name? Darn it.
I
That's
know. I'm
pretty.
looking
I
it
was
up too.
But anyway, so and she mentioned, oh, berries, you know, it's a berry season now in the colder area. So there is always fruit. So we don't go with like I can't get the fruit, or it's not good enough, so I just eat what I have been eating. Then, you know, it's your choice. I cannot say you have to. I just hope you will. But
but
yeah, there is
I,
no
I
must.
I wonder why only certain of us, is it an energy thing in your body where maybe the vibration in your body is no longer resonating with low vibration foods, and that's why we're not adapting anymore, or our bodies are not accepting it, so we're falling ill?
Yeah,
Because you look
that
at
is that. No,
people,
no,
what is
Mandy,
it?
that's not what it is.
What is it?
It is the ongoing low frequency foods that makes it sick. Now, some of us were born healthier than the other. I mean, I
Okay.
wasn't born healthy, and I was born in the early 50s, so you would say there wasn't that much junk food out there. But
Yes.
in the Netherlands, my parents both going through you know, the war, and there wasn't that much to eat, and they smoked and drank.
Mm.
So yeah, I didn't come from a healthy body, and I didn't get a healthy body. But when I see, I was a caregiver for a gentleman who passed away at 103 and a half. I have to say that half.
Oh,
I think it's amazing what he did.
yes.
And he could have lived longer if the allopathic industry had not interfered, you know, with
Oh.
spelling his death. So, and he was throughout his life, he was pretty healthy, and even with his oh, that sour milk, the totally disgusting milk, that he had every day, you know, he made it this far, and he came from a farm, and
Yes.
you know, drank all the milk. And some people can make it that, but he barely drank, he didn't smoke, and he ate very little, and he was active up till he was over 100 years old. He was still active in senior games, you know, the Olympic senior games, they call that here. it is different for everybody, but it is not, our body will never adapt to low frequency food. Adapt in a sense that it keeps us alive, it keeps us breathing, but with
Yes.
all these signs and symptoms. And what I said earlier, it is what's happening is that we do get a sign, we do get symptoms when we're young, and we ignore them because they are normal. They are considered
Yes.
normal, but they are not. They are already signs, hey, something is not working adequately. You need to take action. But we ignore it. I see it in other family members, late 20s, as healthy as they can be. But if I would have asked, I didn't because they were only here a short time. If I would have asked further, I would have heard a few things. Yeah, I have this, and yeah, I'm tired, and it is, or I don't sleep well, and then people start taking either the pharmaceuticals or melatonin, of which doctor always said, if you keep taking it, your body quits making it. And that is the same for
Good.
thyroid medication. So there is always, well, Mandy, there's a lot to talk about.
No, you're right. I stopped taking, I was given thyroid because it completely shut down, and I just refused to take the medication. I just didn't, I was on it for 6 months, tetroxin, altroxin, and I just refused. I want my body to repair itself. And I suppose we have to get sick in order to wisen up
Yeah,
and learn.
if you want to get in touch with me, I can put
Yes.
in my email. It's actually the emails in the notes in the description.
Okay.
Just write to healthy, oh, was it healthy with fruit at gmail.com.
Healthy,
So yeah,
healthy fruit.
healthy with fruit at
Okay.
gmail.com. But
Thank
please
you.
do go through the links in there because it's actually a lot of information. And yeah, and I want to touch on, especially with people who also just starting out. It is Sara already put in drmorse.tv. The other one is grapegate.com. It's an older site. It's not really being updated, but a lot of the things that I put in my ebook come from there. So you can find a ton of information there too. And there is ebooks from Dr. Morse is in there. So yeah, it is.
Okay.
You can do things on your own. I mean, there's enough information to do it, but sometimes when you feel that you're not getting where you want to go, it's helpful if you talk to somebody, who has been through it. And often you can get great answers in the groups. The group that where I am an admin is what is it? Dr. Robert Morse ND group. So Dr. Robert Morse ND group. And that is I think there are over 41,000 people in there now. But and I answer there too. But if you prefer to talk with me in private, then you can go to I think heal.me/Toni Weel. We'll go there too.
And all that is
I'm
definitely in
on
the show notes, but
Yeah, it's everything is there. So you do, sometimes people feel really alone in what to do and how to do it and where do I found it, and get frustrated and scared. And that part of being scared, that is something we need to get over. And because if you get scared, it means you don't know your body enough yet and how it responds to things. Some people, and it has nothing to do with being allergic. Some people cannot eat something as simple as avocados. And I always said, oh, that is a healthy fat. You have to have it. No, you don't. There are people that cannot handle it. I'm one of them.
me too.
And I get a response pretty fast, as in pain in my joints.
I
And
get pain in my
That's
stomach.
true. I didn't know that.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
so
wanted to
right.
say one thing, Mandy, too, is you said that we have to get sick in order to know how to heal, but we've been lied to for so long, for generations, and we've just been corrupted by the corporations. And just
Yes.
please do not blame yourself. Just know that now that you know better, you can do better, and you have been doing better. And by going through this journey, it makes our lights even brighter, and it makes us more passionate. And that means that we can reach out and touch more people and show more people the way. So I don't understand why, I do know why we've been lied to and all that stuff, but it hurts too, but it just makes us more passionate leaders in this whole thing.
That's very insightful and encouraging, because it's, the craving good food, and now say good food, it's habitual food that we've been brought up on. It's more of a psychological struggle, because our body wants the right things. It's the mind that we have to fight consistently until we don't want the goods. I say good stuff, but it's the bad stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's the
it's like we don't really have cravings for fruit, but we do for the foods that we shouldn't eat. Now, this can have a reason can be that your adrenals are down and you're craving salt, salty. I always put salty things for some reason. I say some reason because and it's not hunger, and it's not really the cravings. It is just, yeah, I mean, what is a craving? Is cravings a hunger? Can we ignore a craving? I would say if you have a craving, I mean, drink a cup of tea, drink a cup of water. And okay, this is what I have to mention too, and we are going to talk soon with Lauren Whiteman about this. It's about water. And we absolutely do need water. And I don't care how many fruitarians groups are going to say, it's like, no, you only need the fruit water because that gets into your cells. You absolutely do need the water. It flushes out the toxins. It absolutely helps you. And we are so dehydrated. I see people who are on all fruit, really all fruit, and they get wrinkly because they don't drink water. That first, they're on all fruit. They get wrinkly, their skin is sagging, and it's like, okay, the fruit water is going into the cells. Why do we get that? And I see the difference with people who drink sufficient water. And sufficient. If I wouldn't drink 1 liter of water, I wake up at night with bad cramps in my legs. But 1 liter of water is nothing. 3-4 liters would be better. I have not been able to get to that point. Right. But yeah, I want to talk with Lauren. Could not be here on Thursdays. He's working, so we'll see if she can be here at the end of the month, or we just schedule, on another day to be able to talk on that, because I think it is important.
Very important. And Mandy, you might want to try switching over to distilled water too, and see if you see because that's one of the things that Lauren does talk about, and she has written articles on that. And you can find information about Lauren under the raw key. So and then RAW KEY.com. And so she runs that website, and it is, she has a lot of good insight there. So we definitely, if you see that show coming up, that's a definite show you'd want to listen into, or possibly be in the chat if you can.
Oh no, I'm on that website now. I'm trying to create a group with Helene to continue inspiring one another, because it's so helpful having people like yourself who are wise and bring us through this journey.
And find all of us on a Garden of Eden. I put a link in there too, gardenofeden.social, and you can also find all of us on Facebook too. And everybody in the chat here, a lot of them are regulars, and they are all so smart. They've all been on this path. They all are traveling the country or reaching out. Like, some of them are hospital workers, and they're the angels that have just been planted all around. And we're all doing God's work together of learning the truth of all of this, and we're all finding each other just one by one by one. So it's great that we can all stick together, and we love everyone in the chat, and we love learning from everybody. And I think you're the first person we've had from South Africa on our chat. So welcome, and we're so glad that you found us.
This
Yeah,
is
Mandy,
absolutely
okay. Guys, I do have to go because I have an important meeting coming up. Thank you, Mandy, for being here and asking your questions. And, you know, reach out to me if you need to talk further. And for everyone, new people being here, listening to us, never feel bad reaching out to us. We're here to help. We're here to guide you through, you know, on your health journey. It is important. And we love doing what we're doing. So
And I just want to say one more thing, Toni.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how big or how small. Like if you don't have a podcast with a voice, it doesn't matter. If you just put a little thing in the chat like a hello or welcome, it's just your energy sometimes. So everybody has a part of the puzzle we all have to put in. Some have large pieces, some have small, but they all make up the tapestry of our lives. So everyone is just as important. It does not matter. And thank you all so much. And everyone in the chat, much love, and much love to you too, Toni. And thank you, Mandy.
Thank you. We'll see you soon.
Well, thanks everyone, and of course, Sara, for your knowledge always. I'm so happy to have you here, and that goes for everybody who listens. And I would say till the next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.